Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you can guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You will hear a conversation between a man and a woman. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10.
Hello, I'd like to become a member of the gym.
Certainly. Have you filled out an application form?
Not yet. Do you have one?
Yes, I've got one right here. Or I could just enter your details directly into the computer. It would be quicker.
Okay, go ahead.
Could you tell me your name, please?
My surname is Pierce, Pierce, and my given name is Sharon, Sharon.
Thank you. And your address?
70 Welcome Lane, Tipton, TP3, 4MB,
Could I just note your date of birth?
13th of July, 1980.
Are you just applying for membership of the gym, or would you like to join the health spa as well? There's a special price of £50 a month, or £130 for 3 months.
I'd just like to join the gym, thanks.
OK, that's £20 a month, £50 every 3 months, or £180 a year.
I'll pay for the year.
Will you be paying by credit card?
Yes, here you are.
Thank you. Card number 467397020361. Expiry date September 2009. OK, I'll just print out a form for you to sign and you're a member. There you are. Sign here, please.
Great, thank you. Could you just show me around very quickly?
Certainly. Mike, could you take over here for a few minutes? Come this way. Right by reception, we have a refreshment area, serving healthy food and drinks. No coffee or chocolate.
What a good idea.
Beyond that, as you can see, there's the main gym area. The treadmills are by the window, so you get a great view across the river. Opposite them are various machines, and at the far end you can see the free weights area. If you look at the far end, you'll see 2 doors. The one on the left is the ladies' changing area, and the one on the right is the men's.
And the swimming pool?
There's a door in each changing area that leads to the swimming pool.
The health spa is upstairs, isn't it?
Yes, there's a flight of stairs leading from each changing room to the spa area. Oh, I forgot to mention that there's a sauna beside each changing area. Our members love using those after a workout.
How many members are there?
About 300 people, of which 200 are members of both the gym and health spa. Only about half of those people come regularly.
Does it ever get crowded?
It can get a little cramped at the weekends and occasionally in the evenings during the week. A lot of people like to use the treadmills. There are no rules about how long you can use a particular machine, but we ask people to be considerate. The swimming pool rarely gets crowded.
Are most of the members men or women?
I'd say that there are a few more women than men. Ladies are more likely to join the gym and spa, whilst men usually just join the gym.
Well, thank you very much. I'll be along tomorrow for my first workout. You're open at 7, right?
Yes, we're open from 7 in the morning to 10 in the evening. See you tomorrow.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You will hear a monologue. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20.
We understand the importance accommodation plays in student life, which is why we aim to provide you with not only the best possible range and standard of housing, but also advice and assistance on the whole accommodation process. With our help, you should find yourself somewhere you want to live and get settled in with as little hassle as possible. Throughout the guide that I have just handed out, you will find details of the wide range of accommodation available at the university and how you can apply for it. We hope that the information we provide will assist you to make your choices, but please contact us at any time if you have any questions. Our accommodation ranges from the catered to the self-catered, the modern to the traditional, and is based over 25 sites across the city, all of which are located within a short walk or bus ride of the city centre. First, let's look at catered accommodation. Moving away from home for the first time can be as scary as it is exciting. Our traditional catered accommodation makes things easier for you, with meals included in the rent and a comprehensive support network to help you adjust. And with around 2,000 students in catered accommodation, you'll have ample opportunity to make new friends. If you like choosing what and when to eat, self-catering will be ideal. More than half of our new students live in self-catered accommodation, which offers a taste of real independence, plus the benefits of a sociable and supportive environment. You can choose from either self-catering flats, larger occupancy residences, or university-managed accommodation for one person, flats, couples or families. Then there's private accommodation. University accommodation isn't for everyone. If for some reason you don't get a place or would prefer to rent privately, we also have a register of university-approved accommodation and can offer advice and support if you want to rent private flats or lodgings in the city. Now, here you can see a map of the university accommodation nearest to the campus. Malvern Halls are located on Humber Road, between Severn Road and Thames Road. This is the tallest halls of residence, being a 25-storey block of student flats. You can get a good view of the campus from here. Grampian Halls are also located between Severn Road and Thames Road, where Liverpool Lane joins the two. Don't get Liverpool Road confused with Liverpool Lane, as I just did. It's on the south side of the street. Brecon Halls are between the South Gate and the West Gate. They're very slightly nearer the West Gate, actually. These halls are popular because they are newer and the rooms are somewhat larger than in older halls. Sperrin Halls are nearest to the south gate, on Avon Road, but not opposite it. Well, whichever type of accommodation you go for, I hope it suits you. Now, I'd like to mention...
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You'll hear a tutor and some students discussing eating disorders. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 23.
Good afternoon. I hope everything is going well. Right, we've been looking at problems some people have with eating, and today I'd like to focus on one you've probably come across in your reading. It is sometimes called binge eating disorder, or BED. As you know, I am not a particular fan of these acronyms, so I will refer to it by the alternative name, compulsive eating disorder. Has anybody heard of it?
Yes, I have. In fact, I read a case study of a first-year university student who was diagnosed with it.
Do you remember what the symptoms are?
Well, of course, one symptom is that the person eats too much, although that's true for other eating disorders as well. They also put on weight.
That's right. Whereas in some other conditions, such as bulimia, they don't, and can actually lose weight. One thing that compulsive eating disorder and bulimia have in common, though, is that the person with the condition often becomes clinically depressed.
Are you saying that everybody who is overweight is suffering from the disorder?
Not at all. What makes the compulsive eater different is the pattern of the disorder. Initially, as we've said, the compulsive eater starts eating too much. This seems to be because the sufferer finds comfort in food and eating is seen as a way of coping with problems. They don't eat because they feel hungry. Mary, in the case study you read, was there any reference to what triggered the problem?
I seem to recall that the student was suffering from stress because she was revising for exams, and she started eating snacks, junk food, while she was studying. Soon, she was eating snacks all the time, and it just got worse from there.
Yes, that sounds plausible, although compulsive eating often starts a lot earlier than the case you describe.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 24 to 30.
Anyway, once the condition has been triggered, often by constant snacking as you mentioned, it becomes progressively worse. Over a period of time, the sufferer loses control of their food intake. They become preoccupied with food, and the binge eating increases. Overeating blocks out negative emotions such as loneliness, worries about work, depression, and so on. But it is only a temporary effect. Apart from the physical discomfort that overeating often causes, the sufferer begins to feel embarrassed by their behaviour. They then take drastic action to try to compensate. In an attempt to lose weight, compulsive eaters will try extreme diets, skipping meals, or going without any food at all for a day or more.
Not a healthy way to try to lose weight, obviously.
Absolutely. And of course, the person has to start eating again at some point.
In other words, it becomes a vicious circle?
That's right. Binge eating, extreme dieting, or attempts to lose weight by other means, and then binge eating again.
What are the long-term effects of compulsive eating?
As you might expect, these are similar to those for people suffering from obesity. Diabetes is frequently reported.
What about treatment?
The disorder can be treated, certainly. But there's always the possibility that the patient will suffer a relapse and start binging again.
What does treatment involve? Medication?
No. It normally involves sessions with a therapist experienced in treating eating disorders. A nutritionist will often be involved as well.
Are there any self-help organizations? I mean, organizations like Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yes, there are. And you might want to follow this one up for your research. One organization is called Overeaters Anonymous, and they have what they describe as a 12-step program to help people overcome the disorder. You can find out more from the organization's website. Right. I think that'll have given you plenty to follow up. So I'll see you at the same time next week.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear a wildlife expert giving a talk to a group of bird lovers in the UK about a species called the tawny owl. Before you listen, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40.
Good evening, everyone. You're all likely to be familiar with pictures of the tawny owl because of all the owl species in the UK, it's actually the most common one. But the chances are that you're more likely to have heard one than actually seen one, as it's also strongly nocturnal. This means that it normally ventures out at night. So, what kind of habitat does the tawny owl prefer? Well, a survey carried out in the 1980s confirmed that this owl is most likely to be found in woodland. If you look at a map of tawny owl distribution across Britain, you'll only see gaps in the treeless marshy areas of eastern England and in some of the more upland parts of northwest Scotland. However, you can sometimes find populations of tawny owls in urban areas too, either in parks or in large gardens. The tawny owl shows some obvious adaptations to its natural habitat. For example, both its wings and its tail are short, which helps it to maneuver through the trees. Also, the bird's plumage is a mixture of brown and grey, and this provides suitable camouflage for when the owl perches up against a tree trunk. Then there are its large eyes. The tawny owl's visual capacities are considerably better than those of humans, and although it can't see in complete darkness, It's sufficiently well equipped to be able to navigate its way around woodland on all but the most overcast nights. Another factor that contributes to the tawny owl's success as a hunter is its excellent memory of the layout of different areas. If you combine this ability with the owl's strongly territorial and sedentary nature, most populations of tawny owl are sit-and-wait predators, you realize that it has a good opportunity to predict where prey might be found. Finally, as well as having large eyes, the owl's sense of hearing is excellent, and this helps it to locate potential prey as it sits on its perch. Turning now to the tawny owl's diet. Woodland tawny owls feed mainly on mammals, especially small ones, such as wood mice and bank voles. But they'll also take things like frogs or bats, or even fish, if they happen to be available. In urbanized landscapes, the owls seem to prey more on birds. So there are some differences there. Let's just look briefly now at survival rates in the tawny owl. Young tawny owls face a difficult time once they leave home, and 2 out of every 3 are likely to die within their first year. So, with such high mortality levels, it's a good job that established breeding pairs can produce young over a number of seasons and maximize their chances of passing their genes on to the next generation of owls. I've already mentioned the sedentary nature of the tawny owl, but it's not just adult tawny owls that are sedentary in their habits. Young birds, dispersing away from where they were born, rarely move far. The average distance is just 4 kilometres. There also appears to be some reluctance to cross large bodies of water. The owl is absent from many of the islands around our shores, with only occasional sightings in Ireland and the Isle of Wight off the south coast of England. Right, well, now I'll show you some photographs that have been taken in 1 or 2 of the...
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.